Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today we're gonna do a Q&A as we are in the dark plague. I ask you guys in Instagram and the history of YouTube as well to ask me some questions, so let's try to answer them. Star Hunter 101 says, smiley face, why new lenses are going so expensive? So lenses is actually high quality glass that needs to be refined and work with extreme detail to be made, so that's why they are expensive, and they get even more expensive if you have to work with a bigger sensor. If you don't know, the bigger the sensor you have, the better. That's mainly why it's expensive. So in my opinion, micro four thirds are a little bit way too expensive for micro four thirds because there isn't much choice. But if you are in Canon, Nikon, Panasonic or wherever, probably you can find easily on the second market for cheaper, and probably the new lenses are cheaper even more because they know that the second-hand market is pretty damn strong. So yeah, my favorite destination, it's actually the Azores. I am doing a time-lapse masterclass based in the Azores. If you want to check out, subscribe on this channel. But this is the 5th video that I already made a time-lapse in San Miguel, Azores. So if you want to check them out, the link will be here. Introduce the best Android apps to look for objects and stars in the sky for astrophotography. There is a lot of apps that you can install, but the main ones that I use is Sky Map from Google Maps. And as well, I use a lot the Photopills. Photopills is not a free software, but pretty damn good. If you have some suggestions of free apps that do what Photopills do or SkyMap do, please leave it down below in the comments. I would appreciate. With a link to the Play Store, please. That would be great. So I have other comments that I pick up from YouTube and I want to answer them in a video because I think we need to answer them on a video. Because yeah, those comments has a little bit of value to answer, and yeah, that's why I'm putting on the video of the Q&A. So I already answered this question a lot, but I'm gonna answer again. Yes, if you are in complete darkness and no light pollution, you actually can see the Milky Way with your own eyes. Not as detailed as you can see in the photos, because the camera is receiving the light for a longer time than we are doing it, but yes, you can. You can see the Milky Way with your own eyes. Why you reply to everyone's comments? Well, because it isn't a big channel and I can answer. I have 1 comment or 2 comments per day, so it's pretty damn manageable until now. So there is a bunch of smartphones that coming out with a huge number of megapixels and stuff like that. I am planning to do a video about smartphone photography and explaining the convenience and inconvenience, and one of the things that I think that it's way too stupid that is happening now, it's more than 100 megapixels in a smaller sensor, and that I think that it's way too stupid because the more megapixels you have, more noise we're gonna have on the image. So I don't know why a small sensor like that needs that much of megapixels, and usually you need a lot of megapixels to make prints. Let's be honest, you won't make photos with your smartphone to make prints. 12 megapixels, at least iPhone did something correct. I'm not an Android fan or an iPhone fan, but actually the iPhones are limited to 12 megapixels, and that was a smart move because you have better performance in low noise, and low noise because you have a low megapixels, your sensor pixels are bigger, so you can capture more light. I will try to make a video explaining the smartphone photography, the advantages and disadvantages. In that video, I'm gonna explain the basics of photography and how important is, how big is the sensor and lens quality, okay? Try to do astrophotography in gcam mode. So I can't get a Pixel 4 here in Europe because reasons. Also, I won't buy a smartphone just to make a video. I have my smartphone. But if you want to see more details about my thoughts about the Pixel 4, here is the video. But I could try to hack the app to my OnePlus 6T, but I tried the difference of versions, the difference of websites. some dodgy websites I try to install, and even if it can install and works, but the astrophotography won't work. So I don't know why it doesn't turn on the astrophotography mode, but I doubt that it will work properly, because to avoid the star trails and to compact the information from the sensor to one image from different images, because astrophotography mode it's doing, you need to be precise with the specific lens of the Pixel 4. So with a bunch of variations of lenses that you have on smartphones, I don't think that even a working hacking gcam on the other brands will work properly because of that. Yeah, I hope that OnePlus, Huawei and other brands go like, oh, it's a photography tool, it's a great tool, let's put, because it's a software thing, let's put that on our smartphones. They put it if you ask for them. So yes, there is a lot of people that ask me if their smartphone will do, and this is a very annoying question for me, if your camera has manual control, if your smartphone has manual control, it will work, okay? Manual control and a longer shutter speed, like 15 seconds or 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds as well. So if it has that, and you have absolutely manual control, you can photograph in the Milky Way with your smartphone. Also, if the wide-angle lens is necessary to photograph the Milky Way, I already answered that. The answer is no. And why? I won't repeat myself, because I already did that in the second part of how to photograph the Milky Way. Ok, gosto de ser inglês com o sotaque meio russo, haha. Se não soubesse que você era brasileiro, acharia que era russo. So, my nationality is Portuguese. I came from a place that I already talked about. It's called the Azores. It's a beautiful place, and it's Portuguese territory. I'm not Brazilian, I'm not Russian, I'm not French. Yeah, I'm not, there you go. I am Portuguese. Bom descreve and astronomer. So this question is a very loaded question, because, yeah, there is a lot of layers to answer this question. If you are trying to look lenses to your camera to photograph the Milky Way, it's extremely simple. The first thing, it's a very open aperture, and the second thing, wide angle. The widest angle, the better. A thing to remember, it's thinking in long term. For example, if you want to stay on APS-C because the cameras are cheaper, let's be honest, the APS-C size sensor is cheaper than full frame. Full frame it's better, but if you are an amateur, you don't want to jump for a professional workflow and stuff like that. You want to just have fun with your camera. I don't suggest to buy a full frame lenses, okay? For example, I used a Samyang 14mm f2.8. There is newer versions from that, and it's for the old connection of Canon. And that lens I really advise for full frame, and it works really well. But if you want to stay on APS-C cropped sensor, yeah, there is a bunch of choices that I was impressed that it has a lot of choices, okay? So I would like also to announce that I'm trying to do other videos. During this epidemic, I'm trying to make the editing of the masterclass time-lapse, and here is the teaser of it. Before understanding time-lapse, let's try understanding video. The image won't be just beautiful because you have a slider. That is my main objective, because the thing that will move a lot and will be beautiful, it's the clouds. Photographing the sunset, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Let's do this. and this is Time-Lapse Masterclass Series. So if you have any questions, leave it down below in the comments, because I try to answer, as usual. Drop a like if you learned something, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I am Miguel, until next time, see ya.